Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I remember being in 6th grade for a math class. My teacher asked me to come forward to solve a math sum on the board. After writing down several sums, I suddenly blanked on the answer. He looked at me and said, "How can you not know what 6 by 8 is? Are you stupid or something?" I turned around and the whole class started laughing at me, standing in front as if I were a foolish person. After that, I got so anxious that I could even ask the teacher whether I could go to the bathroom, and it became this cycle that started repeating itself over and over again every time I participated in social activities. Now, before we start, if you want to 10x your productivity, check out the first link in the description for a free productivity plan that has helped me and the people around me get organized and structured. 50% of the people who develop social anxiety disorder do so by age 11, and then 80% have developed it by age 20. Because social anxiety disorder shows up so early in life, it can have some huge impacts on your future. It's the only mental health disorder that's consistently linked to dropping out of school. So my social anxiety kicked up in middle school, and I thought I was so ugly and unattractive. But the thing that I hated most about myself is I didn't stand up for myself and for the people around me. And the image you probably have right now in your head is someone who is shy, introverted, or just awkward. And that is completely wrong. Well, not for everyone, but for a lot of people. Shyness does not equal social anxiety. It's very common to be shy when you're a kid, and when that happens, you really feel overwhelmed in a social situation. You're not really comfortable with it. It takes you some time to warm up to the situation. But most shy kids do tend to warm up over time, and most shy children do not become socially anxious adults. Introversion also does not equal social anxiety. Think of introversion and extroversion as a chain about how much social anxiety might drain your battery or how much it might energize it. People who are introverts just get more tired from social situation and enjoy having more time to themselves. But that doesn't make them social anxious. Some people with social anxiety are really awkward. I thought I was super awkward in middle school, but the reality is most people with social anxiety, they're just kind of quiet, and that's the feedback I've gotten from other people. They said, "You weren't strange or weird, you just didn't really talk much, you were just kind of there." What I want you to know about people with social anxiety disorder is they want connection, they want to fit in, they want to talk to you, they want to be part of the group, but their brain keeps telling them that they don't belong. So now you're probably wondering, well, what exactly is going on inside the brain of someone who has social anxiety disorder? It starts with your genetics. A lot of people who develop anxiety disorders are more vulnerable to experience anxiety. Specifically, they have this thing called the behavioral inhibition to the unknown. What that means is when you're in a new situation, you back off, and it's something you can spot really early in years of life. And it's something I did all the time by hiding behind my mom or dad when I was in a new or uncomfortable situation. And for some reason, you might go through life and experience a situation where other people associate it with danger. And now your mind starts to make more and more associations with people representing danger. If you have social anxiety disorder, the amygdala, the part of your brain that processes fear, is more active when you're looking at faces, which means your mind literally sees faces as more dangerous. Fear gets activated in your body, making your heart race, making it hard to breathe, making you sweat and shake. Now you're wired to see threats in the environment. So someone with a neutral face, which is most people, is a threat. And you start to believe that they're thinking harshly of you because of all these sensations in your body, all these thoughts floating around in your head, and how your attention is only focused on these dangers. It is so hard to speak, it is so hard to interact with anyone, to hold a conversation, and just to be there. All those things rob you of getting the real data of what people are actually about you. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So once I had created in my head the image of being this shy kid who could barely participate in social activities, my parents decided to enroll me in a soccer club. This was the first time that I became aware that I'm not shy, can make friends, and talk to people without feeling like they're looking at me weird. After I graduated from high school, I took my first side job as a sales rep for 2 years. I did it because I realized it was the only way to address my anxieties, approaching people on the street and facing rejection more often than making a sale. Now, this doesn't mean that from this point my social anxiety was over. In fact, it started getting worse through my years in college. For example, I was quite shy to ask a girl out, and some days I even ate my lunch in the bathroom because I was scared of people. At the age of 21, I started my personal development journey because I had always been interested in psychology and behavior. Soon, I began reading books on communication and started practicing meditation. After a few months of consistency, I saw some results. I could observe my thoughts as the observer and not as the identifier of the thoughts. In other words, you are not your thoughts. You are not the voice saying you are shy or ugly. You are the observer. This is hard to explain because I also believe that the concept should be experienced rather than understood. So the third method that worked well for me is journaling. It helped me put the chaos in my head on paper for clarity. Another effective method that I was started practicing for a year now is talking to the camera or starting a conversation with a stranger in an appropriate environment and being interested in others. I can tell you for a fact that it has been a transformation I'm very proud of, because I diagnosed myself without searching on the internet for medication or therapy. You know what's even funnier about this whole social anxiety thing? I remember thinking that because I was weird and shy, people didn't want to be friends. But then I realized, how can you expect someone else to accept you if you don't even accept yourself in the first place? That's a question you should ask yourself, because nobody is worried about whether you're shy or ugly, as everyone is caught up in their own inner dialogue. So take it from me, you're already good enough as you are, and you are meant for more. Now that you know what my 10-year social anxiety transformation looks like, I recommend watching the video how I brainwashed myself into being confident for the entire process that I went through to master social activities. Share one of your social anxiety experiences in the comments. Also drop a comment if you have any tips for creating better content. Thanks for staying with me. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.